Surprise, surprise, surprise. There's been another mass shooting up in Democrat hellhole, Canton, Mississippi, another city much like its big brother Jackson that is gripped by Democrat death culture. That's right. Big mass shooting this weekend, barely reported by any media because, this is the mass shooter. So it doesn't quite fit the narrative that they want to shove down everybody's throats about gun control, gun safety, and gun laws, and the big old scary AR-15s. Let's talk for a second before we play this. This is Canton's, best of my knowledge, 6th homicide of the year. 5 more people got shot. So if my math, based on the amount of videos I've made about Canton this year, is correct, 6 homicides and about a dozen people shot that didn't die. So that's what, 12 times 5, 17? 17 people. No, so 6 dead. 18 people that were victims of violence this year. Now, give or take, I can't remember how many exactly got shot and survived. Maybe it's 12, maybe it's 10, maybe it's 15. You get the point. 10,000 people, 10,722 people live in Canton as of 2022, according to the census. 8,700-ish, give or take, are black. 8,200. 8,170. So we'll just round it up to 8,200 are black. Non-Hispanic people living in Canton. So that's 4.23 times more than any other race or ethnicity in the city. They got 1,930 white and 585 Hispanic. Every single victim of violence this year in Canton has been black. Every single suspect in these acts of violence has been black. By the end of the year, if we're halfway through the year, so if you just take the average and double it, the numbers where we're at right now, they're going to end up with around 12 dead, 12 to 15 dead, and probably around 25 more people, or 25 total shot for the year that don't die. Now, you could have easily sat here and had 6 people dead last night. I mean, if you shoot somebody, you're trying to kill them. So this number could be much higher, but unlike Jackson, or much like Jackson, should I say, these folks can't aim. They just randomly shoot. There was probably no intended victim in mind. It was just, old special dude here decided that he was going to take something out of somebody. He was going to show folks he was hard. I tell you, being black in a Democrat city is a very dangerous proposition. Meanwhile, they're the same people who keep telling you that racism and police versus black folks is the greatest threat to their existence. I beg to differ. I absolutely beg to differ. And if you can't tell the truth about that, you're just one of the same people who try to convince folks that men can be women and women can play in, and men can play in women's sports. You're not starting from a place of honesty and truth, so I can't entertain a conversation with you. Let's check out WLBT's story here on our mass shooting there in Canton, our black on black mass shooting.
Is accused of randomly shooting at a large.
New details in a story we've been following for you since early this morning. We now know Canton police have made an arrest after a deadly mass shooting. Canton police say 19-year-old Jeremy Ollie is accused of shooting into a crowd of people, killing 1 and injuring 5 others early Saturday morning. Our Chris Fields has been following this story, and he has the latest. Chris.
Now, I want to show you at the very end of this, y'all pay attention, because I want to show y'all the scene from when this suspect turned himself in. And I want y'all to think about, does that fit the narrative of white privilege they always talk about? That's about white privilege. A black man couldn't turn himself into the police without being shot. I'm going to bust that myth right on up at the door, as Kim Wade would say. Watch the end.
Right, Morgan. This marks the city's 6th homicide of 2024. What started out as a night of fun and fellowship at a popular hangout spot.
Again, 6 deaths in a town of 10,700 people and 8,200 of them being black. All 6 deaths are black people at the hands of other black people in a town of only 8,200 people. So that's damn near 1 in every 1,000. Halfway through the year have now been killed.
In the heart of downtown turned out to be deadly.
It's not okay to pull your gun out and start shooting. It's just not okay.
Canton's top cop is fed up with the ongoing violence.
It's sad and it's burdening. And so we as a community let's get together. Let's get together.
Citizens praying and hoping that peace will one day return to the city. According to Canton police,
they need to quit praying and they need to start snatching some folks up, snatching their souls right out their bodies. Quit praying. Now also pray. Actually, don't quit praying. Pray, but you're going to have to put your hands on some people. This ain't going to get fixed until some hands have been put on some people.
The shooting happened just after midnight Saturday. 19-year-old Jeremy Ollie Jr. is accused of randomly shooting at a large crowd of people out on Hickory Street.
Just a normal hangout. People came and just was hanging out on the street there talking and all. And gunshots erupted. One man lost his life.
That man is 20-year-old Jontravious Warren. After Warren was shot, he was taken to the hospital where he later died.
The only photo they could find of this kid is one of him throwing up some kind of sign.
Other people, including 2 minors, were also shot. Chief Brown says their injuries are serious. See, police say after investigating, Ollie Jr. became a suspect. 3 on your side captured this video of Ollie being...
So now I want y'all to watch it. This is the shooter right here. This is the guy who just committed a mass shooting. 1 dead, 5 injured, 2 minors in serious condition that still may die. And he just shows up willy-nilly and just walks on in without being bulldog tackled and having guns pulled on him by the police. And I was told that that didn't happen to black folks when they turned themselves into the cops. I was told that only white people got the privilege of peacefully turning themselves in. Boy, I ain't never seen no white mass shooter just willy-nilly walk into the front door of a police station after pulling some nonsense like this.
And brought to the Canton Police Department by his mother and family. He is now charged with murder.
My baby didn't do nothing. He ain't do nothing. He's a future rocket scientist and engineer. He's probably even going to be an astronaut. My baby didn't do nothing.
Murder and 6 counts of aggravated assault.
Other people,
Except murder and 6 counts of aggravated assault.
people were shooting that we know of, and we're trying to identify them. We're looking at surveillance from different business down there, trying to find out and put it together on this shooting.
Community activist Marcus Mack says he's urging young people to talk their problems out.
You know, when you have a gathering, you just come up and just go to shoot. You know, we don't know the reason or what it was, but the violence that's going on with our younger generation.
That doesn't matter what the reason was. I mean, these community activists have been taking a lot of L's lately. The more activists we have in these areas, the more violence seems to spike. These OGs ain't doing a very good job.
You know, it's going to take the whole community to come together.
Mack is offering help to try and end the gun violence.
Talk to me. Talk to some of the older guys in your community. Just go with them, just talk with them, and they'll tell you something good, and just lean on it.
Now, you know, in my community, we don't have to talk to older folks to know that walking up to a crowd of people and start randomly shooting ain't a good idea. In my community, we just don't have to do those kind of things. I don't know if I want to live in a community that requires folks needing to talk to the OGs to know the difference in right and wrong. You can blame it on poverty. You can blame it on anything else you want. At the end of the day, you know the damn difference in right and wrong. Being poor ain't an excuse for not knowing you don't shoot in front of a crowd full of people. Not knowing that you need to keep your pants up and your legs closed if you don't plan on marrying the person that you're having a child with. Being poor is not a valid excuse for pee-popping on the handstand on the internet with your babies in the background.
Now, meanwhile, Chief Brown says all activities at the popular hangout spot on Hickory Street are canceled until further notice.
They keep talking about this like it's a business. All activities have been canceled at the popular hangout spot. It looks like it's a damn street that people park and hang out at like we used to in McDowell Road, except again, the big difference is we would fight and it got ugly, but not once, ever. In all my years of hanging out on McDowell Road back in the day in South Jackson, before the demographics changed, did we ever have a shooting on McDowell Road? Not once. I mean, again, lots of fights. And that's just human nature. It is what it is. I love watching a good old fight. However, the second anybody had ever pulled a gun and gunplay got involved and random people's a mass shooting unfolded, that'd have been the last time you'd ever seen my butt out there on McDowell Road. It just ain't happening. I don't know what's going on in these black Democrat cities, but they are absolutely out of control. And if you call it out and sit here and say specifically that there's a problem with black on black violence in these black cities. None of the suspects in any of Canton's violence this year are white. None of the victims in any of Canton's violence this year are white. Jackson, Mississippi, much the same way. Much the same way in Jackson. But when you call this out, they just shout you down, oh, you're a racist, you're a bigot, homophobe, transphobe, racist. You're not allowed to be a realist. You're not allowed to tell us that the water's wet and the sky's blue. And that's the problem. You know, I just wish, and I shared this on my social media accounts, and I just don't have sympathy for them anymore. And I just made the comment. I said, I guess Jackson will do all it can to try to take its crown back as the deadliest city in America. Canton trying to snatch Jackson's crown. They want that championship belt. They want that F around and find out championship belt. Canton's got it right now. Jackson wants it, though. But people are mad at me. Oh, somebody died. You don't have any sympathy? I look, man, until y'all start caring as much about black on black violence as I do, until y'all start caring as much about black on black violence as you do police on black people violence, white people on black people violence, I'm not going to continue to pretend to have any sympathy. You reap what you sow. Y'all keep sowing trash, so you're getting trash. Tune into the Clay Edwards Show every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., 103.9 FM, WYAB, for the most incendiary show on the radio in the United States of America, not just Mississippi, the whole damn thing. If you miss it live, you can always check out the podcast right here on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Podbean, iHeartMedia, and anywhere else you download podcasts, stream music, or watch videos. Just search Clay Edwards Show. And as always, this video has been brought to you by Men's Health of Mississippi. Guys, let's get you a free testosterone screening today. You could be suffering from symptoms of low T, such as fatigue, decreased muscle tone, lack of energy, low libido, that's your sex drive, brain fog, sleep disturbances, and even erectile dysfunction. Text my name, Clay, all caps, to 601-327-8550. That's Men's Health of Mississippi, getting you a free testosterone screening today. Just screenshot this video right here and text my name, Clay, 601-327-8550. I will see you guys on the radio.